Before I start this video, I just want to say I could be wrong about this, but it's highly unlikely. You don't know, you damn well should know. My name is ragreynolds, and flat earthers. People have accused me of being a flat earther in the past before, and that's just not true. Not true at all. I've made it very clear. I don't believe the earth is flat. I believe that's a ridiculous concept. I think it is much more likely the earth would be donut-shaped than flat. Now, I believe the earth is spherical. I believe it's a globe, okay? But I definitely don't believe it's flat. And people keep trying to tell me that I believe it's flat, but I don't, and I've never said I believe it's flat. And it annoys me when people say that, but regardless, that's irrelevant to what I'm going to say now. People talk about flat earthers all the time, but I'm not convinced there actually are any real flat earthers. I'm not convinced anyone in the world actually believes the earth is flat. At least 99.9% of all flat earthers are not actually flat earthers. Most of them are doing it for the meme or to troll. There may be a 0.1% who do believe it, but I believe those individuals are people who probably have mental health issues and other issues that are causing them to be delusional and think that way. Everyone else who believes the earth is flat is either trolling, in it for the meme, is someone who smokes a lot of weed, other drugs, very high out their face, and I think that pretty much covers all of them. I really do not believe there are any legitimate flat earthers who are of sound mind and body. I think it's a ridiculous concept. I think it's a ridiculous concept, and I think it's ridiculous how many people actually believe that those people are out there. When you search flat earther on YouTube, or the earth is flat, or is the earth flat, you don't find videos of actual people like you and I who are sitting down and talking about their experience of the earth being flat. Instead, what you find are big media companies or talk shows or whatever else who are talking about or making fun of flat earthers. That's what you find. You don't find videos of people sitting down like this and talking about their experience. And maybe that's just because the system's been gamed and the algorithm's promoting all these bigger videos, but I do think there is something else to that. The amount of mental gymnastics that have to be done to consider the earth being flat as a real possibility is insane. We have to discredit so much evidence. People ask me all the time, okay, well what about Google Maps when I say Australia's fake? Or what about satellite images when we can see Australia? And I think those things can be very easily faked. How hard is it to just scribble an extra landmass onto an image of the Earth from space? I don't think it's that hard. But to actually morph the planet from being flat to being spherical, that sounds much harder. That doesn't sound probable. That sounds ridiculous, especially when you have to then make up theories for the physics and the dynamics of how the planet moves. Or when you look up into the sky and you see Mars or you see the moon. Okay, we can observe just looking at these things that they're round, they're not flat. So why is it that the Earth would be flat and these things wouldn't be flat? It doesn't make much sense looking at it that way. But yeah, I really don't believe anyone of sound mind will sit down and think that the Earth is flat. I don't think anyone that doesn't have some sort of mental issue or is high or has maybe been drinking a lot will think that. The only way someone could ever possibly think that is if they are deficient in some way, or they're in an altered state of mind, they're not thinking clearly. Maybe they've been brainwashed since birth. These are the only possible ways that someone could ever come to that conclusion. I mean, just think about it for a second. Have you ever even met a flat earther? Have you ever even come across one other than just finding a video of someone pretending to be one, or a forum post or something like that, of someone pretending, someone that's gone viral, something like that? Or someone who's joking along a friend for the meme? Because that's all I've ever seen. I've never met an actual person who said, I believe the earth is flat. I've seen talk shows where maybe there's been people on the talk show talking about, oh, they believe the earth is flat. I've seen that, but I'm not convinced that they're on there for any reason other than just attention. I mean, I'm sure lots of people would be willing to go on and pretend they believe something they don't actually believe just to get some attention, be on TV for 15 minutes. People do all sorts of things just to get some attention or some fame for a short amount of time. So I find it highly improbable that any of these people do believe the earth is flat. And I back that up by again asking, have you ever met a flat earther? Because I have not. I have never met a flat earther. And this is me coming from circles where I investigate and I believe that Australia is not a real place. I tell everyone Australia is not a real place, and I spend a lot of time talking about that. Yet I've never met a single flat earther. Yet the Flat Earth Society tries to claim my theory about Australia not being real as their own. They try and say, we've got the real theory about how Australia is not real, and then I get accredited to them and people think I'm part of the Flat Earth Society. How do you even join the Flat Earth Society? Have you ever met someone who's part of it? I've been on the Flat Earth Society website. All it is information about the Flat Earth. It's not actually about the people, about how they gather, how they organise. There's nothing to do with that. There's no people listed on the Flat Earth Society. There's no one you can contact. The Flat Earth Society is not a real society of people. It doesn't exist. The most you will ever find are Facebook groups. And there are countless Facebook groups, Flat Earth Facebook groups, but what you will find is that most of the people in there are only in there to make fun of flat earthers. They're in there to pretend that they think the earth is flat. You go into these places and they're just a bunch of circle jerks. They're a bunch of people who are joking around saying, oh, the earth is flat. I walked to the edge of the world today and I looked right off the side and it was a great view. That's all these groups are. It's constant posts of people being patronising, people making fun of flat earthers. That's all these posts are. People being satirical. People, maybe they're being very good, they're playing the part very well, they're pretending and they make other people believe that they believe this. But that's what these groups are. They are not actually flat earth groups. They are people who are making fun of flat earthers. That's all they are. The Flat Earth Society is not a real group of people. You will never be able to point to a group of people that call themselves the Flat Earth Society and find one of these groups that actually doesn't believe the earth is round. None of them believe the earth is flat, and you will never be able to find one that does. I challenge you, find a Flat Earth Society, find someone to contact. Who is the head of the Flat Earth Society? Please, someone, get me a contact number, get me an email address. I challenge you, you will not find it. Because it does not exist. All you ever see is news article headlines or video titles. It says, oh, flat earthers say this. Flat earther freaks out over this. And the thing is, none of these people are flat earthers. They don't believe the earth is flat. And how can they be a flat earther if they don't believe the earth is flat? It makes no sense. But the media, YouTubers, people who want things to talk about, they want content, they will continue to stretch this myth of flat earthers. They will continue to spread this meme, this joke, as truth. The media and YouTubers and popular figures have made lots of people out there in the world believe that there are a sizable portion of the population who believe the earth is flat, that there is a Flat Earth Society. But in reality, there is no Flat Earth Society. It is a myth that has been spread, it has been propagated by the media and by popular YouTubers. All because they want clicks and they want attention, they want clickbait, they want things to talk about. And people like to see, hear and talk about and react to ridiculous concepts such as the flat earth. People like to point and say, ha ha ha, this guy's so stupid, he believes the earth is flat. So then they try and lump people like me in there and they say, ha ha ha, this flat earther is even more stupid than all the other stupid flat earthers because he thinks Australia isn't real. Which, you have to admit, is much more probable than the earth being flat. It is much more probable that a single country does not exist than that the entire earth is flat. Okay? So my beliefs, my theory, is far more plausible. And that is just undeniable. So I think it's ridiculous when people try and say, I'm the most stupid flat earther ever, or I'm more stupid than flat earthers. Because my theory is much more plausible, whether you think it's right or not, whether you agree with me or not. I have a much more serious, much more legit theory and claim than any flat earther. And that is largely because there are no flat earthers. I'm going to stop saying there are no flat earthers now, because I'm getting a sore voice. This is my third video I've recorded today. But yeah, that's all I want to say. I just wanted to make it clear. There are no flat earthers. The Flat Earth Society is a myth, and you can take that from me. Until next time, you're welcome, society.
Ragreynolds, the coolest lad you'll find. Ragreynolds.